Hi everybody and welcome to Open Line. I'm Joanne Paul. Michigan has a lot of beauty to offer and the crew here tonight works all it can to make sure it brings that beauty to the big screen. They are movie makers and they are joining us here to tell us about what they do. One film is coming out, another one has won awards, and the people who actually work on camera and behind the scenes are joining us as well. And of course, we would love to have you join in the discussion here tonight. Our number is 517-349-1212. Again, 349-1212. Of course, we are streaming live on the web as well at meridian.mi.us. So some of our viewers join us that way as well. I'd love to introduce you. I am going to let you tell me a little bit about the credentials because they are tremendous as we look at the panel here tonight. But let's start with Jack Shaberg. Welcome.
I work at Future Media Corporation during the day. We're a video production company in Okemos, right across from the high school. And I went to USC for my last 2 years of college and got a degree in film. So I've been dabbling in what was really film, as Ed will tell you later. That's probably most of his pedigree is in real film. And then this is the third feature film that I've made. This one's called The Key. I made the first one about 2005 or 6, and the last one 2009. And so once you get going, it's like a non-narcotic drug. You just have to keep making them. And with digital technology and all that, you can make them for very little money. So that's me in a nutshell.
Wonderful. Welcome to the show. We appreciate you being here. Our next guest is Don Cochran. He's an actor. Welcome.
Hi, thank you.
Tell us about yourself.
I serve in the Michigan Army National Guard. I've been working with them for 26 years now. Been in the military over 26 years. Actually graduated from Lansing Everett High School, and that's when I got the acting bug. It was my senior year at Everett, and I did the musical Oliver. And I've been kind of doing that since, you know, acting and singing on the side. Took some classes at LCC, and just kind of put together a resume from the beginning of my career back then, all the amateur stuff, and working with Holt Diamondale community players too, which is Nan is part of also. And just continuously doing that and getting to know the people in the community that are in the film and acting, the industry and all that. And this is, you know, my passion, one of my passions, and this is what I love to do. So.
Well, welcome to the show, and on behalf of all of us, thank you, sir, for your service. We appreciate that.
Appreciate it.
Our next guest is Ed Messina. Welcome. Tell us about yourself.
Well, complicated. I'm a medical doctor. I'm a neurologist. I run the Michigan Headache Clinic with my wife in East Lansing. But I've been a filmmaker for, you know, it's like, you know, like someone is trying to describe their addiction, just as someone else already mentioned it. I've been making film since the late 60s, and film, as Jack pointed out. A lot of us cut our teeth in film. And I was the guy running around France with a 16mm camera and a, you know, gun and run guerrilla crew, shooting all kinds of crazy things. We shot probably 10 shorts over there, and all of them dramatic. And get back to the States and did a little here and there, a little bit of producing, educational stuff, but it all dried up, so I figured I'll go to medical school. So I did. And but all through the years, I've been using the art of cinema for teaching people about diseases. My oldest kid and I did a documentary for PBS a few years ago called Life and Migraine, and it did well. And we did a mystery diagnosis together for A&E, and then been shooting educational films. Don has been in several of those. And but the first drama is Lily's Mom, and that's the one that Nan and I worked on together, and Don. And it's a drama, and it's a very dark drama, but it's about a woman who's been abused and who has crippling headaches and is in a dysfunctional world, and it's all about her self-advocacy that she learns as she tells her story to a therapist.
Wow. And
it unrolls kind of, it's how the story unrolls through flashbacks, talking to the therapist. And the therapist is phenomenal. All the actors were so good in this. That's the thing about this movie, the acting was phenomenal.
Wow. And those are all local people, right?
Yeah, well, all from around Michigan, yeah. Everybody.
And you know, for our viewers, we do have clips of both movies, so we're going to, you know, tantalize you with that. So thank you. I appreciate you being with us as well. And our last guest, Nan Loca. Welcome to the show. Tell us about yourself.
Thank you. Well, by day I'm a computer technician at Community Mental Health Board, and by night I'm an aspiring movie star. No, not really. I got involved in theater as soon as I graduated from high school. I didn't do any of this stuff when I was in high school, and I kind of got the bug with community theater that I was involved with down in Paw Paw, Michigan. little pawpaw. And took off from there and got involved with a local troupe here, as Don mentioned, the Holt and Diamonddale Community Players. And we also, my husband and I had done some singing, so we weren't shy. We weren't one of those, that were afraid to perform. We performed at the Michigan Renaissance Festival and things like that. So got into theater and then got on the web and saw an ad for somebody who needed set design and costuming, which was kind of my forte as far as theater was concerned, and that's how I hooked up with Ed, is we ended up collaborating on Lily's mom, and I ended up filling way more shoes than I expected when I first came in the door. But when you're dealing with small film production, that's what happens. You pretty much pick up whatever needs to happen and you just do it, because you're working for the greater good of completing the film, obviously, and you just kind of find a way to get things done, which is...
Well, excellent. Well, I welcome you all. It sounds wonderful. The background tremendous, and we'll get into each and every one of it. Also, again, the phone lines are open if you'd like to call in a question or a comment, where our number is 349-1212. Again, 349-1212. In the interim, I'll be asking some questions, and I think I'll start with Jack.
All right.
Jack, tell us about your movie. What it's called and what inspired you for that.
Well, the name of it is The Key, and I've got a trailer that we can look at in a minute, which really, it doesn't completely describe it because it's sort of a mystery drama that you don't want to completely describe or no one will go see it. But after I'd finished my second film, which is The End of Art, I was thinking, what am I going to do next? And so I kind of looked at my current array of spec scripts that I write. When I'm not doing this, I write, Hollywood scripts that I try to sell, which obviously I haven't yet, or I wouldn't be doing this. And so I looked at one that I started probably 10 or 12 years ago, and I thought, well, I could probably scale that down into something I could make myself. So I started rewriting it probably 2.5 years ago, and then in January 2010, I said, yeah, I think this is ready to go. And so I contacted a writer that I'd worked with before, and she didn't really change much. She would just say, well, look at this scene because something is not right here, and why don't you switch these two around? And then I got a couple crew people that I had worked with before, and then I think I went on Mandy.com and Facebook pretty much for the actors. And I was trying to think, Don, how did you hear about it? Do you remember? Was it Facebook?
I think it was Facebook, yeah. That's a lot of the community in the Michigan area.
I understand that you had a really good, really well-trained female for the anchor role in this film.
Yes.
I saw her, yeah.
Yeah. And in fact, I was going to, in the first trailer, that female anchor is in the first trailer, Joanne Paul. And so that was, we actually filmed that in Lansing. And the other actors, Don is from Holt, and the others are pretty much from not quite southeast Michigan, but down in that neighborhood. So we all congregated wherever we were shooting. We shot in Fowlerville, Fenton, Linden, Williamston, Lansing, Mason, and Howell. So on any given Saturday, it was like, please, I hope everyone shows up, and which they normally did, and sometimes on time. So I didn't look at Don when I said that at all. But if we want to look at the trailer, that sort of gives you a flavor of what the movie's about.
Yeah. Absolutely. Len, let's take a look at The Key.
Sir, you have a little baby girl.
That big envelope in the mail, are you sure it wasn't for me?
No, I'm sure.
I had another dream that Dad's alive. This is really getting old.
I'll see you and the key at the airport. 30 minutes. Kenny Wheaton? That's impossible.
Why?
He's been dead for 18 years.
Scream again and it goes off.
Where's my daughter?
So either I'm not your father, or I survived, or I'm a ghost.
What does my client want with a key?
What does a key and this little treasure hunt have to do with the king of porno dying?
When I agreed to your idea, I thought it would take 6 months to cash in, maybe a year, not 18.
Then you should have got rid of Sal a long time ago.
Mom? What the hell's going on?
There's a man with black hair wearing a dark sport coat. He's following you. Give him what's in the box and then walk away.
I'll take that. That's a hell of a girl you got there.
Is this really your treasure?
What could be more important than $1 million?
Write down his address. If it's wrong, I go back to Sing Sing. For murder.
If we do this, we're no better than my father. Or your mother.
What's the address?
You want to get there before they develop the film or not?
Why didn't my dad just rent a car in some hotel rooms? Why go through the trouble of dragging you into this?
Run off and hide in the woods. If nothing bad ever happens out there.
Time's up.
All right, I know I'm biased, but that was fabulous. Okay, that looked like a real film. I mean, the quality was unbelievable. The acting was fabulous. How did you put that all together?
Well, I mean, it starts with the story, I say modestly, but the acting, I mean, the actors in this movie, not that the acting in my first two movies was bad, but it was more of a stage acting feel. They came from community theater, whereas most of these people came from shorts and features and whatever, but film instead of, you know, live stage. And I think that had a lot to do with it.
In live stage, you're a little more, as Nan knows, obviously a little more overboard. So,
But you have to be to
yeah.
really, yeah.
So when you go on film, obviously you have to reduce that down quite a bit and not be so Jim Carrey-ish, I guess.
You gotta portray it with your voice and with those real slight.
The little man.
Yeah, it is a tremendous difference between the two. But you were excellent. I mean, when you take a look at that, when you see that, how do you feel?
It's all right to me. I mean, thank you. I appreciate it. But no, I mean, I'm excited about being part of the film. I mean, it's a great story and everything. Don't get me wrong. I'm sorry. Back up. No, but just for me personally, looking at my abilities, I always think about how I can improve it or do better at it and try and raise the bar. But you know, I'm pretty. I get kind of a gratification when I see myself, I guess.
See, I am totally the opposite of that. I am totally the opposite.
That's why you wouldn't let me use the clip with you in it.
I know, I could. Well, I wouldn't stand up to that. Thank goodness I said don't use it. I'm just this, you know. I didn't realize I was going to be with you know, actors of that caliber. I mean, I'm just amazed at how incredible that was. And really, I think the technical aspect of it was tremendous as well.
Yeah,
when you take a look at the trailers you see on TV, there was no difference there.
And as Ed can attest to, when you go to HD and when you shoot on a camera, and they're not $100,000 like they used to be, they're not even a tenth of that. The quality is just yours for the taking, but you got to do something with it.